Shapez 2. This game always weirdly minimizes whenever you switch off of it. I don't know why it does that. I don't think there's an option for it in the settings. Camera, no. This game has some interesting music to it, right? Let's see. Stream mixing, post-processing. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. Turn that down a little bit. Actually, let's turn the music down a little bit and turn that back up. I notice it says anonymized analytics up here. It makes me wonder if since I have it turned off, are they sending non-anonymized analytics? That would be weird, but it wouldn't be past them because they said they're not, if you wanted to anonymize it or not. Alright, let's continue this game. I'm still trying to finish this last one out. Let's see here. I think I am going to go ahead and move. I'll move the camera up a little bit. There we go. Where you can see the thing down here in the bottom for the operator level. Alright, so we're just letting this run. Unfortunately, there's no way to make this go faster. Like, as far as I know, there's no button for it anywhere. Screenshot. Let's see, I'm looking to see if there's an option for make it go faster. As a console, apparently. I don't know what it's, oh. Speed normal. F7, F8, F9. Huh. Alright, so there isn't a... Just double checking again. Vertical angle, change angle, move. Yep, don't see it. Alright, we're gonna let this keep building for a little while. Because this one is about 12K. Let's zoom in here. Make sure we got our stuff, our green arrows, our purples, green, purple, green, purple. The purple ones are your operator ones, these here. These, it's always the same, right? It's just when you reach the number, you just move on to like level 10. And it keeps making the same thing. It just keeps going. Now for your task, which is how you earn upgrade points, they have a little research number, but just for upgrading. These change every time you complete one, but they stack on the previous one, right? So like here, this had those 4 little thingies on it, and then they were on pins. As you can see here, they were on pins, and then you replace the pin with this crystal red thing, and then you're going to do, once that one's completed, then you're going to do another one. You're going to put the crystal red things on pins, and now you replace those pins with blue crystals, and then you're going to do the last one, which is going to be green crystal, blue crystal, red crystal, blah. But you can't stack crystals. So what you have to do is you have to pin underneath the blue one and then do a green crystal underneath it. Not too difficult, but you have to plan this stuff out, right? And these take long. This top one here is 150,000. I have 2 belts running at full speed doing that. And so these are 12, and these keep going up, right? As they get more difficult. It started out at like 5,000, 10,000, and I think it maybe it was like 4, 5, 8, 12, 20, something like that. And it just keeps doing that. You know, that's the way they do it. On the early task, it was much. The early ones were nowhere near that amount. But they weren't this complicated either. So the big thing to remember about this game is you can't do it all on the main platform. You can end up doing this nonsense where you're going to build platforms out here, away from the main platform. You're going to build platforms out here, do the work out here, and then either run it by belt or to train back to the main platform and do the vortex input. You can mark these things like I have done with various labels so you can find them a little easier. I'll tell you, one of the problems I have is I like the belts more than I like the trains, right? The belts are basically as fast as the trains. They're a little slower. The trains are a little faster, okay? But when it comes to taking up space, I mean, look at this train, right? This train comes in here, it takes up 2 spots next to the platform, 1 spot to unload, and it has a park spot. You can't access any of these other 2 offloader areas or these input areas for the platform because this blocks them. And that is a pain. Whereas a belt, if you pull the belt away a little bit and then do your loops or whatever you need to do, you can still access all these other unloader, loader, belt, whatever things you want to call them. And you can do this with pipes or with belts. So the trains become less and less helpful. Now I do run trains over here. I run 2 trains. You can see the lines on the track, green and red. So there's a green train and a red train coming in, and they just ran into each other. But the game doesn't seem to really care. And what they're doing is they're stopping at both of these unloaders. And if they need one, then it unloads it. Right now, the red on this shows that it's basically empty, but it's not producing anything. The only red being used is up here, and that's being also fed up this way because this red up here was being used to turn these white. It's currently not being used to turn them white. The white belt's not running because I don't need it anymore. So I just pulled the red off of it and started feeding this. Now this is a crystal. These are crystal platforms. the thing that you have to remember about these, about the displays on these, is, so we have our crystal generator, which is this thing, 6 belts. So there, you can have 6 of these per belt, and the belt will keep it running, right? That's to handle the maximum number of inputs. You need 1 belt for 6 of these. Yeah, 1 belt for 6 of these, because these run at 30 meters a second. The belts run at 180. Now, water, or fluid, as they call it, 1 pipe will only feed 3 of these. And you can see that it's got a problem because it's running slow, because it just doesn't have any fluid coming in. Because it's got, it should have 2, but it's only really got 1. Because this red over here that was feeding it is not feeding it. For whatever reason, the red train is not bringing any red go-go juice. Oh, that train went the other way. I'm going to run the other side. So here it comes. So it's going to stop there, do nothing, and it should come over here and unload that red. There we go. And now it should go back to get another one. And that should help this red run for a little while as it picks up the pace, because it keeps running out, it keeps running out of red, because I'm also pulling red over here to feed into this one, because this is another 6 of them, right? And you can see the fluid content going on down here. So we've got 6 of these, 1 belt feeding them. We need 2 red pipes coming into it to feed all of these, to feed all 6 of them. So I have 1 coming in this way, 1 coming in that way, 1 from the north, 1 from the south. Always do that. When I'm in spaced out mode, I always right click to unselect something and I end up deleting it instead. So there, see the red, he must have unloaded the red over here. So they're in competition for the red, and that's what's causing it to be problematic. Let's see, and the red is coming from way, way, way far away. Let's see, where is that red coming from? Oh, so the red's coming from over here. There's no more red, right? Because it's just not going to feed it. Now I wonder, for grins, if I put more of these on here, if it will really up the pace here on filling it up, because that's what it is. It's gonna, you have to fill this up and then it takes it off. But I don't think that's actually going to make any difference. Because there's no way to see how fast is it filling it. So I wonder if instead, if we do this, if we do it that way instead. because each one of these flows 1800. Yeah, I think that's actually going faster. I mean, I don't think it's going to make a difference on the other end, but we'll see. I think it's the fact that it blocks so much for me is an issue, because you can't, you know, according to the knowledge base, because they loop back around. That's a train, putting the thing on, yada yada yada. So let's see. So according to this picture, it looks like you could take a belt and put a loader on it. So that seems like an option, right? So that's what that picture's doing, is they're doing a loader and then another loader. And so they're loading two cars at once. Then there's routing. And so I bet that means that we could, if we wanted to, take and put, you know, instead of putting a, that's funny, instead of putting it right next to the platform, we could build it off the platform a little bit. You know, build it out a couple of squares and then put the unloader and just unload onto a belt. Because according to that picture, that's what you can do. What are we doing on the red here? Still struggling. I'm not using green or blue. No, I'm using a green down here because we're making yellow. Making yellow, or we're making yellow. We're not making this yellow, but we're making yellow somewhere. Right here. Making yellow there, and we're using the blue and the green. So we're just not using it at the other stop. This thing's still struggling to keep up with that. Yeah. Let's see. I wonder if that means because that was the concern I was having with this red all the way out here. Is I was thinking about doing it with a train since it's so far away, but if a train, if I don't have to build the belt right, if I don't have to build the train right next to the platform, if I don't have to put the unloaders right next to the platform, I could do something like this, right? I could do train, do a water wagon, and we'll do, let's see, what do we want to do here? Platform, fluid miner. Let's see, this is right there. It's just, I'm just doing this Just see if it'll let me do it. Let's see, so back to train. It's facing the wrong way. Yeah, so there we get that. Put that there. Then we'll go over here. Should be able to rotate this with the mouse. Alright, so let's do that. That seems to be filling up. That works. I could stagger out trains or something. I don't think you could stagger them, but what ended up happening is I could at least put like a fluid loader if I put it out far enough. Like instead of putting it here, put it out a couple more, and then I could put a belt loader here instead. Alright. So interesting that it will let you do that. Okay. Because I think this is going to be forever struggling with that red. So I wonder, because that red's coming from there. I mean, I could, they're the one I just built. I could run a train track down there and just put it on the same belt. Let's see, I'm gonna lock that there. Let's see, I could actually make that a different color if I wanted to. Let's do a blue train with a fluid wagon. There we go. Where's my train? There it is. Of course, there's no logic to it, which is the dilemma here. There's no logic to say, hey, until you're full, you can leave. I have not used any of this stuff, these wire stuff. The only thing I've ever used on the wire stuff is like on the home plate. I have a few of them when I first got the thing. I wanted to see how it was doing. Like right here, it's flowing 180, 169. I just wanted to see what the volume was. There's two 180s right here. I just had to see what the volumes were like on it. Alright, so now that's keeping up now. Alright, so you can run 3 trains on the same track. Could probably add the 4th one on there too, right? Just might get a little collision-y. Because here comes my blue, then the red, and the green's right behind it. And the green one is, of course, only hauling blue. I think, if I remember right. So, no, he's stopping. So that's the red one. He's picking up green and red. And the green one is only picking up blue. And then I have a blue one picking up red. Alright, so I'm going to let this run until this one hits 12K. If I remember where that one is. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's right here. Because the next one on the list is going to be. And there it went. So now see it's flashing. Everything's flashing. So I'm going to unlock to the next one. And I'm going to look. What does it want done? It wants it just pinned. Because this one was just flat. And so it wants it pinned. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the brakes on it right there. Maybe get rid of that one. That one. Over here, I'm going to do a pin. Now you can see up here in this section, it tells you, right? 3 pin pushers. A full running belt will utilize 3 pins, or will fulfill 3 pins. So let's go ahead and we'll do. Let's do them right here. Just take our belt and go giddy 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 ding like that, and that should satisfy that. And I'm going to take and I'm going to change this one to match that. Then I'm going to go look. So it's coming in on this belt here. Did I read that wrong? No. There they are. I'm going to look and see if it says that those are correct. And then that will be it for me tonight. So I'm waiting for this to change right here because it'll tell you if it's green, that's the right one. If it's got an X, that's the wrong one. If it's like a gray one, it doesn't mean it's wrong, but it's not right. It means it's close but not the right one, or it's an old one or something like that. I forget what the gray one means. All right. But I think that is going to be it for me tonight. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching on YouTube. You can catch me here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, starting at around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch under Cagman0. Come on by, say hi, give me a follow, give me a like, give me a subscribe. I will thank you for it. But come on by, say hi. You know, it's good times. We just play some simple games and nothing too fancy, nothing crazy. But yeah, come on by, catch me on YouTube at Kegman Plays. or you can catch me on Twitch TV /Cagman0 every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern till around 9:30 Eastern. Thank you very much for watching.